Hey, Miss Jenny.
Hi, Greg. Hi, Sam.
Hey.
So this spiritual development thing is hard work.
Yeah,
Um,
I hear you.
I have a really quick share
Okay.
about angels. I had a question I sent in over the weekend in class, and it was, how do you know when you are in the presence of an angel? After we were doing our oils and then the toning, I'm
Mhm.
just sitting there. It's like, where's my angel? I can't feel my angel. And then later on, we went to a concert. We were in like this complete dive bar in the middle of Seattle with this really interesting Australian performer. And right in the middle of all of that, Greg, I felt the presence of an angel.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I mean, it usually is like kind of a peace or a stillness, and it's
Totally.
almost like a peace and stillness that's beyond what you can do. You know what I mean? It's like I can relax, but I can't relax like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it
Mm.
completely dispelled any sort of like preconceived notions of I need to be sitting alone in the
Right.
middle of like a wide open field with no, sign of life around for me to have that connection. But here I
Mhm.
was in the middle of like this, you know, very rundown uh,
Right.
concert hall and, this music venue. And then there it is. I felt so calm and a little bit like a sense of elation and joy that I had never felt before
Yeah. That.
in the midst of all this tremendous change that's happening in my life
Yeah.
as you know it. So I thought that was really cool. And I
That's
definitely have
very cool. And like that idea of needing to be in a quiet place or out in a meadow or something,
Mhm.
it's nice, but it's because you're trying to get your physiology to a place where it can have that connection. But with what we did over the weekend, it's almost like you're going to your inner meadow or that inner quiet place, and it doesn't kind of matter what's going on around you. And if you think of like what angels are, they're, we're invoking them because we want to feel better, or we want this or we want that, but they have they have tasks. And so what starts to happen is, if you're able to connect with that stuff starts to happen like around you. You almost become like a magnifying glass to situations with that angelic energy coming in. And it's not that you have to invoke it, you just start interacting with a situation, or you're around a situation, or people are reaching out to you. um Things start to happen. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
because
thought it
an angel is really just a way of saying an energy with consciousness.
Mhm.
It's different kinds of energy emanate from God that have specific tasks. We call it an angel because it's how our brain can like process it. But there's not some dude, Michael, walking around the inner world with a sword on his shoulder going, anybody want some? They're like, come on. Like, I'm ready to take somebody on. It's just a kind of energy, but our mind has to have like a focal point. So we have the imagery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really special experience. And I'm for sure going through class certainly helped facilitated that. It just didn't come at the moment that I was expecting it to come. So
Yeah, like in the moment you kind of feel nice and calm and chill, but it's like I said, you're kind of creating that like inner altar, that inner meadow or something, so that
yeah.
when help is needed, it comes really without even having to send the email. You know
I
what I
like
mean?
that. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
sure. Speaking of emails,
Mhm.
that task that I had to do, I didn't even get a chance to send it in, and the manager reached out, said um, he was just checking in to see how it was going, and it was a sign that he was eager to see what I
Yeah.
had to do. And I sent it in to him, and he wrote back, and he said, "Great presentation."
Yeah, you
So,
have some fans there.
And then yesterday was a really hard day too, which is why I can't wait till Friday. But I had a hard conversation with the other person.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
And not only, but I had already felt that energy days before, when I think I mentioned that to you when we spoke on Friday. So that happened.
I would say, I know it's like, it's easy to say because I'm not in it and the situation is what it is, but you're in the process of being in some other situation. So I would say it's mind over matter.
Mhm.
And the way that I would say it is, you shouldn't mind because she doesn't matter.
I like that.
Yeah.
So then,
Like
the
you're
question
walking away from that situation. So like, whatever, for her, just whatever.
she's trying very hard to put.
Of course she is. I'd almost be offended if she wasn't. Like, you know what I mean? Of course she is.
Strange. Yeah.
Everybody's going to take their swing. You know what I mean? It's like the reason why I always say this. I say that a lot, by the way, when somebody does something. Like I always say, I would be offended if they didn't. It's because they don't think that like I'm good or I'm capable or whatever. So like them doing that means that they think that you're capable or whatever. So
I didn't see it that way, but it's good to hear.
yeah.
So my body,
There's an old Chinese saying, to be cursed by the devil is to truly be blessed. I'm not calling her a devil, but she's an adversary. That she's cursing you, good job.
thanks, I think.
Yeah.
So speaking of all that, I think my sort of, what's the word, Greg? The things, the challenges that I'm encountering going through this process for me is just how tired my body is for being the shield for negativity. So I'm just like exhausted.
Just use some hyssop, or a chopper root cleanser, just to minimize absorbing negativity that's being projected at you or in the situations, and then just stay task at hand. Like don't really spend time thinking about all of that. Just stay on the tasks that are going to get you to that next step. So whatever little drama is, the little drama, like it's like what we were talking about before. Like just don't get too involved in it. You just, whatever is said or done, I'd be offended if she wasn't doing it. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I've been using body tonics as well, like Health Rays.
Health Rays would be good, and Lang Lang would be good. Do you have Lang Lang?
I have the oil, but I don't have the body tonic.
Maybe just put several drops in a lotion and then rub it on your body. It will be very, very soothing for you as you go through this week.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. Or a Lang Lang salt bath.
Okay, that I can do easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then red healer during the day.
Like Lang Lang's good. It calms the body down. It slows down the breath. It's calming to the heart. It's also super good for frustration. And part of what you're having right now is a little bit of frustration with that person in the situation and whatever. You just got to get through the next week or two. You'll be fine.
Okay, thanks. Light at the end of the tunnel. And then
Yeah.
really quick last question. Can you say what is causing tightness in the forearms? What causes tightness in the forearms? My
Are you
forearms,
clenching your hands?
not that I'm aware of. It might be unconscious.
Like when you're resting, are you doing this?
I might. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not aware.
It's body tension. It's stress, a little bit of anxiety, but you're not getting headaches or migraines or anything like that.
No, I'm not. It's just more body physical fatigue.
Do something to calm down the body, like even lavender or lavendin, something like that, spikenard, valerian, vetiver, something that's just kind of calming and soothing to the body.
Okay, great.
Yeah. You just, like I said, it's just a little bit of like usually work life is very stable, but you're going through a situation where it's change. It's not necessarily chaotic, but it's chaotic-ish. You know what I mean? But it's growth. It's not like negative chaos. It's just like whenever there's a shift or a change, it's a little chaotic for a little bit, and it can be a little bit unsettling to the nervous system.
Yeah.
Paracelsus could be helpful. And you know how I can't remember who I was talking to, but the thing about inhaling on the perineum.
Hmm.
So part of that is you could, if you have Paracelsus or wormwood or absinthium, part of that is you're unwinding a part of the energy body, but you're also by treating that area, you're harmonizing this particular aspect of the nervous system called the enteric nerves. And the enteric nerves are like very like primal nerves that we have that are in our gut, and they're tied to that balance or homeostasis. And so it's the only part of the nervous system that if you were to sever the nerves between that area that they hit the gut and the brain, like everything else, you just lose function because the nerve is not connected to the brain anymore. The enteric nerves continue to operate independently of the brain. Like it's literally, they have a mind of their own. Like it's very primal, but it's all about homeostasis and balancing and everything. And so sometimes when you're in situations that are unstable or a little chaotic, you can treat that area, and it has like a stabilizing and balancing effect on the enteric nerves. Or you can use valerian. Valerian is considered a restorative to the homeostasis mechanism. Spikenard is very close to valerian. Valerian works better, but if you don't have valerian, you can use spikenard. And it just kind of helps like it's a restorative. It just helps the homeostasis mechanisms and the nervous system just kind of reboot when something like that is happening. So you might need a little bit of that for a week or two.
Okay, I'll do
Yeah.
I'll do those things. So wormwood and absinthium I do have. I don't have
Yeah,
the
perfect. Yeah,
Paracelsus.
yeah, just use those.
And then just inhale with awareness on
Inhale with your awareness on the perineum. The valerian and the spikenard, you could use it on that area too, but I would just take a couple drops of the valerian internally. Just a little bit of water. If you don't have that, use spikenard and do it at the end of the day. But when there's homeostatic issues, valerian is invaluable. I mean, it's just so good at treating that.
Mhm. Did you say take spikenard internally is okay?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did I hear Sam say something?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
All right.
sometimes when I have a bit of insomnia, I'm like, ah, like I take 6-8 drops and man, I'm out. Yeah.
Thank you, Greg. This was really great.
Yeah. And Melissa, like if you feel like some emotions coming up a little bit, like at work, 3-4 drops of Melissa internally, and you'll just be chill.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to do that.
Melissa is amazing. Like it's good for like when you're in anxiety or fear or anger. It will calm it down. But if you use it preventatively, it will reduce the production of lower emotion, and then whatever lower emotion gets up, it kind of just converts it to higher emotion, which is like of the heart. So it turns it into like patience, tolerance, loving kindness, whatever it is.
Just laughing at something. Fantastic. Thank you. And thanks, Sam. That was great.
Yeah.